gotta wake up. Oh, boy.
Since 1971, people from all over the world have gathered in this magic kingdom to celebrate some of life's most precious moments and occasions. We invite you now to continue this tradition in the place where dreams come true as we celebrate you.
The rest is up to you.
Hello everybody, my name is The Real Ducky, the owner and creator of mcMagic, and welcome. We're going to hold questions until the very end, if that's okay, but with my introduction, that leaves it up to everybody else. Do you want the microphone?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it that way. It'll probably be a little bit easier. There you go.
All right, well, hello, my name is Panda Toby on the server. I was a cast member. I'm a cast member in real life, so I mean that helps with building the server. I mean, that's about it.
She's not our only inside source.
My name is Mac Argyle. I am a technician. I work behind the scenes to keep the server nice and running smoothly.
My name is Gorel Moore. I am a manager on the server. My job is to manage the staff and the community.
Hello, I'm FireSleep524. I'm one of the admins on the server. Yep.
I just like how they took the mic and they had one sitting right in front of them. So with the introductions over a brief history, basically all of this was started back in 2011, originally on the Reddit servers. I don't know if you guys have been ever on the Reddit creative server. I was an admin on that server and we started creating it then, and wow, how far we've come. We just celebrated our 2-year anniversary last month. We're past, I think, 100 and how many uniques today?
127,300 last time I checked.
There we go. So we've become a pretty popular server and a great community, obviously. The reason that we do this is the biggest question I think we're ever asked. What made you start this? Because of the reactions that we get from a lot of you, our guests. One of the best stories I remember from early on was a father with his 4-year-old came onto the server and he's like, can we go up on the stage? I'm like, yeah, you can pretty much do it. You know what I mean? Like, that's part of the reason we do this is you're allowed to basically go in all the places you probably wouldn't normally anyway. But the reaction that he had the happiness that father had and the happiness the little 4-year-old girl had, being able to do what she wanted to be, that's why we do this. Because we're able to give people that joy, give people that magic every day. So, setting us apart, we've been pretty much, we were the first server to do this. The first server that was dedicated to the Magic Kingdom. There was one Disneyland server, I believe, beforehand, but it was, we were all within a month of each other. I think we all kind of had the same idea at once. And I started it literally in my room on this very laptop. That's why I brought this today. This is the original mcMagic server. And it was a clear wire device, which I don't have in front of me. It's basically a little hockey puck device that I used for my internet. And both of those 2 years ago, sitting in my room, I would run the server and I'd play Minecraft on the same machine. We were going to actually stream it tonight, but yeah, it was about 2 frames per second. So yeah, we're not doing that. But we've grown from there to 4 different servers, and we want to thank, by the way, MC Pro Hosting is our host right now, and they have done an amazing job at handling the influx of people that we've had. Beyond that, so we're going to get into a couple of the items that we're known for, one of which is safety and security. It's been very important from the beginning that this is a family server. In other words, we want fathers, mothers, kids, grandmothers, whatever, to be able to come on and know that it's a safe environment. Knowing it's safe means no swearing, no trolling, no sharing of personal information, any of those items. We wanted to make sure that those were locked out. So we use some plugins for that, but we also have the great people that are here on stage, keeping everybody safe. Now, even though he does administrative stuff, Mac will still come in and help out with, making sure everybody has what they want and they're happy or whatever. So we do play multiple roles, but the plugins play a big part of that, and he does that also. One of which is No Swear Plus. By the way, we do run Bucket. For those of you that don't know, we're not on Spigot or any of those. We're on Bucket. We've been on Bucket exclusively since the very beginning. We use No Swear Plus as one of our plugins, and that one's a little weird because people can't say the word grass. So we're trying to find something else, but the bottom line is that right now, at least, we know that it is safe. We don't have to worry about kids coming on and trying. We've even figured out like some of their little using periods to separate letters and so on. Also, the sharing of personal information. That one is a big one. We only want for our server to share their usernames. We do have a Facebook, but it's mostly an internal one, mostly for us to use internally because most of the people that are cast members are above 14 years old. We've made sure of that for privacy reasons. We do have interns, but we don't usually include them on the Facebook just because of their personal information as well. So we're very mindful of the fact that we do have a lot of younger guests, and we don't want that information shared, not only there, but on the server itself. So we do have chat clear as well. Chat clear will give us the ability to completely clear the chat if not only they share personal information like, hey, Skype me over here at this address. Well, 150 people just saw that. Okay, so we have a chat clear that, boom, immediately gets it right off the screen, but that also works obviously for the swearing issue as well. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the plugins and how we've worked with them? Sure, here you go.
So here at mcMagic, we use a lot of plugins, like Ducky said, to keep our users safe. We also use a lot of plugins to bring the magic as close as we can get it to being real life. We have used things like MoveCraft, which is a plugin that allows you to move large amounts of blocks, almost like animation. We don't currently use that, but we have in the past. We also, this year, have gotten our own custom plugin that was coded by a wonderful person named Chiss. And what this plugin does is it allows us to completely program shows. Now, I don't know if we have any people that have ever seen Hollow Wishes on our server, but all of that was programmed by Virus and I just for this October. And it allows us to do things like block placement. It will eventually allow us to place NPCs, fireworks, text, music, everything. And all of that is done just through our plugin. So we have a very, very well done plugin for that.
Thank you. And if you want, you can log into are we on the server right now, by the way?
Yes,
we should bring that up. Because we can kind of show them. I don't think we have the chat clear on. This is our build server, by the way. Do we? Okay. This is our build server. This is our production server where we actually produce everything before it is released to our main server. But it's also the place where we test all of these plugins to make sure they work. And if you want to give a brief synopsis of Chat Clear, give an idea, see how much is on the screen already.
Nice.
You should type better. You have to look for the plugin. Chat control. Now, obviously, because we are in moderator mode, you don't see the chat actually cleared, but what it does is it literally pushes spaces as far up as the chat will go, so none of that stuff that was on there previously would show again for anybody else that's on the server. So it keeps them safe. That's also, and by the way, because we're here more than just talking about us, is how you can do your own server in a similar way. The best way that we found to handle, creepy. That's a good segue to the troll thing I was about to talk about. Good, all right. The trolls that come onto your server, the best way to handle them is not to directly engage with them. You want to utilize the tools that you have available, like the ones that we've shown you now, but be the better person, because honestly, getting in a fight with somebody on a server is just going to look negative on you. So just don't get sucked into a lot of the negativity. Just use the tools that you have at your disposal, but there's also /ban. Now, messaging and branding, we're going to move into that. We've been very specific about how we handle the look and feel of our server. A lot of people will start a server, then they'll get a noip.com address or something like that, or then they'll get a website that's very basic and so on. But they don't remember that the branding and the look and feel is very important. Like, we have that specific font that we pretty much use everywhere, and that's also considered our logo. The mcMagic thing, if you guys want cards later, you can have some. We also picked a certain color. We picked the colors from the palette within Minecraft. So I see a lot of that too. It's like multicolored websites, and it's like you don't know what they're about. It's a little bit confusing. There's no message or clear message about what they're doing. So that really is actually pretty important when you're trying to make your server successful, is to make something that people remember, something that sticks out. Oh, hey guys. Oh, by the way, our Mickey's wearing his Halloween outfit because of Hallowishes. Your verbiage is important too. You always want to be positive in your verbiage. Even if you've had a bad day, obviously you want to, continue to utilize, we could be having the worst day in the world, but we're not going to go on the server and let these kids know that, because this could be this kid's first time on there. We want them to have the best experience possible. So we're always careful about how we talk on the servers. Now, setting yourselves apart would include features mostly. For us, we have working rides and we have plugins that are dedicated just specifically for our server. Did you want to talk to some about that, by the way, Grail?
About what?
About some of the, because you know a little bit more. You've been dealing with them too on the plugins, if I'm not mistaken, especially on programming, right? It would be more him, yeah, but I want to include everybody. I don't want to,
You'll get.
Okay, all right. So do you want to talk a little bit more about, I'm sorry, what is? TOT's broken. Where are you hearing TOT's broken? Is it because it's always in chat? Yeah. Yeah, well, we need to get are we getting a plug-in for that? We should get a plug-in for that.
We're getting a plug-in for that.
We should get a plug-in for, we're getting
We're
a plug-in
making a
for
plug-in for
Good.
that then.
So talk about, if you would, some of the features of the plugins that we have, but some of the ones that we use other than, are you willing to? Thank you very much.
Alrighty. So one of the plugins, as you can see from our plugin list, is B permissions. It is very important that if you're running a server that you have a good dedicated permission set up so that you don't have to worry about people doing commands and such that they shouldn't, so that you can make sure that everyone can build in certain areas. It's basically the backbone of your server is your permissions.
Also keeps them out of certain areas.
Yes, it allows them, keeps you out of certain areas as well. Guests can't get up on the main stage and things like that. We can sometimes only during shows. Yeah. Other things that we use. We are now implementing Bycraft. If you're not familiar with Bycraft is a plugin that allows you to have a web page, and people can purchase things through that web page, and it will automatically update on our server. So say that you'd like to donate, you go through PayPal on the Bycraft website, and just like that, Your donator rank will be right on the server on your account.
It's a good interactivity item. It's something that gets people involved more and gets them to help out, because a lot of times the server costs can be high. I originally was paying about $379 a month, I think, for the 4 servers, but that was just out of pocket. You guys wouldn't obviously be paying that much if you're starting out, but even so, like, forgive me, yeah, I am kind of taking over, aren't I? Basically, this plugin also gives us the ability to sell things on the server. So people have been buying the dolls that we created, the clothing items that are in all the stores, and it carries through with that as well. And we already have our own web page, but Buycraft gives us the ability to carry things through online as well as quickly and automated as well. Is there anything else on the plugins you wanted to discuss? One thing? Okay.
The other backbone of mcMagic is train carts. Train carts is basically what we use on almost all of our rides. Train carts allows you to change minecart mechanics, whether you want to teleport, change speeds, do all sorts of things like that. And it also has an extension called TC Hangrail, which allows you to have hanging minecarts that come off of iron fence. So we do use that on Peter Pan.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of show them that, because I don't think a lot of folks have seen the new Peter Pan yet.
No, not yet.
Right there.
Yeah, this is
So we use train carts for all of our for all of our rides, and we actually just finished building Expedition Everest, and Virus here did a lot of work on doing train carts. Would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, well, and
He's got
in
some.
general, I'm mostly the one who worked through most of the rides throughout the server when it comes to train carts. Basic systems with train carts is having the main station where you can spawn a cart, enter it, then have all the properties of like collision if you wanted to hit other carts or people and all that. So as you can see in Peter Pan, it spawns a cart, there's a station, and you can enter it, and you just wait until it continues on.
I'm really excited about this because we just figured out how to do dun 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 hangrail. So wait till you see this when you get through. Notice what's under you.
Nothing.
No track at all. Look up above so they can see it. That's all iron fence. So we finally figured out a way to utilize, so the ride, like Peter Pan in the real ride, you are in a hanging ride on the real ride. So we just figured this out about, has it been 2 weeks or a week?
2 weeks.
About 2 weeks, yeah. And this has now changed the whole dynamic for us. I mean, this moving forward is really going to improve. So we've done this on Soarin' as well. If any of you have ever been on Soarin', yep. And what was the other one you said? Was Everest one of the ones that did hangrail or no? So
No.
just Soarin' and just Peter Pan right now is what
Yeah,
we have.
for now.
Yeah, right now it's just Peter Pan and Soarin', but if there's any other rides that in real life they have some sort of hangrail type thing, we're probably going to implement this on those too.
One of the other things that we've done with the Train Carts plugin that's given us the ability to do, we can automate sounds. In other words, we can bring up certain sounds. So if we go on Pirates of the Caribbean, as you're going by the big ship, the actual sounds of the cannons are going off, the water is splashing, all of that's triggered on the train tracks and through with the different plugins. Me? Oh, okay. Oh, it is on right. Maybe your lighting isn't on. Quieter as in that is quiet? Should be. Oh, okay. All right, so moving on. Building one-to-one, and how do you guys do that? How do you get it so correct? So one of the things that we've done recently, and we started to do with Animal Kingdom, is lay out a grid on the ground, physically on the ground. Rather than just using the real ground as it exists, we put out a grid that matches a grid that we put over a real map of the area, so that we're able to actually lay out block by block, looking at our maps, how it looks. And are we going to go on that one?
We'll demonstrate. Like,
Absolutely.
everything.
There's our new Everest. This just opened. How many days ago? It's been like 3 days?
It was, I believe it was the 30th of October when this opened.
But this park was built using our most updated version of that. Do we have, by the way, the checkerboard pattern somewhere we can fly to really quick?
Yeah.
Why don't we do that? And you can get an idea. This will show you what we did on how to lay out, in other words, a one-by-one build. And so what we did, we took a real map of the area and put it basically on like an Excel or whatever with squares on it, and then measured the squares per, per feet, per mile, whatever it was. And then you'll see in just a moment how we did on the ground. And there's one right there. Yeah. So each of those each block's in here, they are really 1 meter. Yeah, they're just like, I mean, Notch built them as 1 meter blocks. So we have to figure out that that's 3 meters. So we take that 3 meters and overlay it on a block or on a map, and we're able to get literally pin by pin where everything is, so that we can build as close to one as possible. Obviously, with 1 meter by 1 meter blocks, sometimes that isn't completely possible, but we've done our best, and I think we've done a pretty good job of it so far. No, please, feel free.
Are you moving on to detail, or are you just gonna?
I think we should, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and this is a great time for Grail to get into this because she's been really great at this.
Hello. So obviously we do the outline part we use the grid to outline all the buildings and stuff, but then how do we find out what we get inside the building and stuff? We usually use YouTube videos of random walkthroughs of the park, maybe specifically the attraction that we're looking at, and we play that like 1,000 times and build what we see, basically. And that's how we get the detail in the buildings. Sometimes we have people take pictures, such as Virus.
There's my
And,
Disney pass. Yeah, I go in all the time, yeah.
Ducky, and because not everyone films everything, such as bathrooms, but
We
take
don't
pictures
film
of bathrooms.
bathrooms.
No, we don't.
We just
film
make it up
pictures
as we
of
go on those, yeah. That would be creepy.
But yeah, all the random little corners that people don't really look at, we just try to get people to get pictures of, and that's how we build it all.
Dan, more? No? Okay, absolutely. Yeah, I actually was able to go to Disney for a period of time, which is, that ended about a month ago because of my job. I've been working on weekends, but usually I go every other weekend. I got the full year-round pass, and oh my goodness, I've taken, okay, so I have a camera with, 2 different cameras. I figured it out the other day. It was 24 gigs worth of pictures of Disney. 24 gigs. That's not even counting all the video that I've taken. That's just the images that I've taken from the parks. And I've tried to take every angle that I can. And we obviously, we do have actual cast members who work at the real parks. We're working on our parks as well and trying to get the, secondary information that maybe we don't know, back pathways that go to certain things, certain backstage areas that I don't personally have access to. I was a cast member in the 90s, I'll say that. It was a long time ago. So things have changed a lot since I worked there. But obviously I still love the place because I still go back. What's that? Tell a story.
All right. So this happened about a month ago. I'm also a cast member, and I've been taking advantage of the free access to Disney. On one of those days, I went to Animal Kingdom just to get pictures right as we were working on the park. As upon entering the park, came up by security, asking why I was taking random pictures of different angles. Fortunately, the security guard had a niece that that plays Minecraft and understands the purpose of what I'm doing. So it gets to a certain point where it can be a bit suspicious, but we don't mean any harm.
It really shows how much we're into the detail, and that's important to most of your guests, obviously. Yeah. The guests are really look. There are certain areas like Haunted Mansion for me is my favorite. That and Pirates are 2 of my favorite rides in all of the parks, all the 4 parks. And it was very important for me just to know that those were as close to the real thing as possible. Like right now, I'm pulling what little hair I have left out over the Haunted Mansion because I want to redo it again. I've redone Haunted Mansion between myself and Skipper. I think we've redone it 10 times, no lie. And I'm still ready to do it again. So, but Disney said that himself. When he originally created Disneyland, he said this park will never be finished. It will always be growing. It will always be expanding. It will always be changing. And that's what's happened with our server. Because people are like, wait a minute, you've been around 2 years and this is all you built? Well, just to be fair, by the way, the map is 10,000 by 20,000. So that, and just that, then all, of course, the the redstone stuff and all the different, we've upgraded over time. When we originally started, it was just mine carts, and we had to deal with hills and whatnot just to make sure the cart kept going. But we've grown quite a bit. I mean, I wanted to say, what was it, 20-something million blocks or something for, I don't know, just the amount of blocks that have been physically placed, because a lot of people assume that a majority of it is done in World Edit. No. Look at all the little angles and everything you're seeing right now on the screen. You can't World Edit that in. You actually have to place the majority of those blocks. So it is time consuming. But we've redone, recently we redid Magic Kingdom. We had an old derpy one, I call it, Derpy Kingdom. We had to completely start from scratch on that one. I mean, literally Main Street, we already knew was 16 blocks short anyway. Somehow we let it pass over the years. We lost buildings and whatnot. We redid it recently, and we're very proud of it, obviously. So finally, getting past, the resource pack obviously is a very important part of your server if you're going to do one of these. You can see, these are not the original textures. Most of these have been edited by myself and Dem190 and others. We're still working on it, actually, because we need to update a few things for 1.7, which, by the way, yes, we will be on 1.7 when Bucket releases, but not yet. And it won't be right after it releases. It'll be about a week to two, so we test things out. But that's, by the way, a good thing to know. Don't just release something. We've had fires. We've lost many rides due to fires because we didn't test the plugins after we updated Bucket, thinking, oh, well, it's working. We're able to log in. Yeah, everything was gone. So we had to start over. Good thing we have map backups. So do backups of all your maps whenever you're trying to do something. Test again every time. Yep. And that's why we have that build server. So even if you're just starting out and you want to at least have a main server or whatever you're doing for your park, you could be doing a zoo for all I know. And that's actually, nobody's done one that I know of. Actually, yeah. So, but whatever you end up doing, sorry, I'm forgetting where I was. Nice. That was loud, by the way. I forgot where I was. I really did. No, where was I at? I'm lost. We're at the end almost here because we're going to get to your questions in just a minute. So the tools that you need. You need a website. Like I said earlier, you don't necessarily want to go with all these DNS servers or whatever else, because that's going to be meaning that you're leading it into your home. There are server companies out there that you can get a server for like $4 a month. Sometimes you can get them for free depending on what the options are. You also want to have a good communication for your guests. We have a Mumble server that we are able to do voice and text chat with everybody. It's not only a good tool between our cast members and ourselves, but it's also actually a good tool for the guests to be able to interact with everybody else. And then, of course, you're going to need somebody like him. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, you need tech savvy. The best way that I've found to run a server is to mess it up over and over again, to delete config files, to overwrite original config files. All of those mistakes taught me and led me to where I am today. You're laughing. Oh, it's happened so many times. Obviously, your social media as well. Are we getting close now? Yeah, almost. You want to bring out, you can obviously set up YouTubes, Twitters, Facebooks, and everything for free. And I don't know, what else? Does anybody else want to add anything else before we do Q&A?
Nope.
Yeah? So before we do Q&A, under not every seat in here, under 10 seats in here are something taped up underneath them, a piece of paper taped up underneath them. We have some items up here for each of the 10, one item for each of the 10 special books. And what we're going to do is sign those items when you find your paper. So when you find that piece of paper, come up here. We're going to do the Q&A in just a moment, yeah. So here's the pens. Yeah, you get to choose from.
You get a pen. Hello.
Go ahead first. Are we signing anything specific or just our names?
Something.
All right, do you want us to sign any of those? It's up to you.
I guess our username.
My stomach
Here's
keeps
this
making
one.
noise.
You get either
I
one of
hope no one
these or
heard.
one of
Your
those.
name and mcMagic if anything.
I think go to him and
Yes, absolutely. Open it up. I got a pen ready to go. There we go. There you go, buddy. So, questions can be happening now as well, by the way, because we can still hear everybody and everything, so. Here, let me sign it. You want to sign this one?
I can't hear.
Yes. Whose was this one? There you go.
Oh wait, no, I have to sign things.
Which one do you want? Meeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Just your name. Whatever you
Pick one
want.
of
It's your
these or
signature.
one of those. Wow, there's so many princess ones. But by the way, there's one item
It says
per.
it on there.
Pick any of
Hello.
these items that you got. If you had a
What's
piece
up?
of paper.
The whole server? It's a
There's
Disney
my
World
signature.
server. You know Disney World?
So did anybody have any questions?
The one that's like that way? We basically rebuilt all of Disney World with working rides and shows in Minecraft.
For the map?
Yeah. Yeah, shows too.
So
Every day.
on the newer map, we haven't been releasing downloads, and I'll tell you why. Because it's been very
Sure.
difficult for people to actually use the map on their
500?
own server because of the way that we have all of the plugins configured. So what we're trying to find is the best way possible to release that, and it's going to take a little time. But give us some time. We're going to get a map that'll be able to be released without having to worry about the plugins or any of them failing or having to know how to run any of those. You know what I mean? So like you can use it as maybe a survival server, whatever you want. The older map.
Here you
Yeah.
go. Sure.
Yeah, keep an eye out because we are trying to work on something like that. And we might release them as individual parks. Anybody else? Questions? Gentleman right there.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, speak up.
I smeared. Oh no. I'm sorry.
No, we haven't, and that's because we're not asking for money. We don't make money off of this. This is a completely volunteer or group of people.
Sure,
So
totally.
because we're volunteer, because we don't make money off it, I actually spend way more than I probably should, but I
It's public.
enjoy it that much. We haven't had a problem at all with them, and we try not to use their items, if you know what I mean. They're intellectual property. Yes. Okay. Young man in the hoodie. Do you have all the rides? Oh, he's going out with a microphone so we can hear everybody. There you go, buddy. Yep.
Do you have all the rides that Disney World has?
We do in Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and in Hollywood Studios. However, Animal Kingdom, as you probably saw, is still under construction, so there's a lot of stuff we still need to do. Do you want to get the gentleman behind him? And the shows, by the way. That includes shows. And for those of you that don't know, restaurants are workable. The hotels are able to be rented. You can get a room and everything.
How do you, the characters that you're using, did you have to buy accounts to create the Mickey characters?
We did. We bought every one of those accounts in order to have the correct skin on the correct character. And for instance, when I'm on the server, I'm on Walt__Disney because somebody got Walt Disney and Walt_Disney. You know what I mean? But we've still had to purchase all those accounts. Yes.
Is there any way to get those skins?
Yeah, I mean, you can just go to any Minecraft skin site that actually. Some of them you can just put / the name of the user, and it'll give you the skin. You can download it and use it. And you are allowed on the server with those character skins, yes. Next, actually, we want to get one more right there in the back, and then we'll come up here in just a minute, okay?
Let's see. Right.
How do you get the texture pack?
The texture pack is linked on our website. I believe we've updated that link, right, Grelmore?
Yes, we have.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess I
think.
could ask you because you have been working on that too. Yeah, so it's on the website it's under servers, isn't it? Services and
Yes.
then resource pack link. Yep, there it is. And let's get this gentleman up here because I promised he'd be next. I'm making you run. Thank you to those of you leaving for being here. No, I'm thanking them for being here, seriously.
Have you guys utilized the horses in the game?
We have, one of which is used on the trolley for Main Street USA, because in the real, Disney, they have a trolley with a horse. So we kind of combined that horse with Movecraft, and we can bring the trolley up and down. But Movecraft is kind of broken right now. We miss having it. Next one. This gentleman right here, really quick. Your question?
Is the server modded?
Modded, what do you mean mod? Oh, no, you mean like for client mods?
Yeah.
Well, it's, okay, so that's probably texture pack related. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's going to be, or resource pack now. Yep. The resource pack is on our website, the same as our, the address for our server. Yep. Who's next? This gentleman right here, lady, ma'am?
Do you plan on doing all the water parks and etc.?
Yeah, actually we do. That's going to go literally right after Animal Kingdom is finished. We're going to go into doing at least 2 of the parks at the same time, so we can have water parks available for everybody. And then that's going to combine with, because those parks are right near downtown Disney, we're going to get like Cirque du Soleil and all of that built as well. Next.
I was just curious about, instead of the warp feature, if you guys plan on integrating the actual shuttles or monorail, use that to
Technically, we do have that. We have the Ticket and Transportation Center, which you can get on the monorail in a cart and go to any of the parks at that. So that only takes you, though, to Magic Kingdom and Epcot in real life. So these take you there, too. And then, of course, you can take them back from the Magic Kingdom and Epcot to the Ticket and Transportation Center and so on. Plus, it takes you through all the resorts. It stops at the resorts. So you can get up there, go in, have lunch, whatever. And then the shuttle buses, which are near there, are off to the right of the monorails in real life, take you to Hollywood Studios and all of the other attractions around. Yeah. Yep. Who's next? Next. Where's the mic? There it is.
What's the server's IP address?
It's mcmagic.us, and you can come get a card if you want. I'll even leave one with my signature on it. There you go. All right, who's next? Get a microphone here. This gentleman in the green creeper sweater.
If you don't have the resource pack, will the server still work?
There'll be a couple of places where it might look a little derpy, but other than that, actually the majority of it does work. That is correct. But it's better with it because you kind of get a better feel like the real thing. Yes, absolutely. Take a bud. Cheers. I guess not everybody picked one up. All right, next question. Wow, we're losing the table.
Will you ever be utilizing the 1.7 map feature to
Yes,
replace
I'm
things like
excited.
paintings?
Yeah, I'm so excited for that, to be able to put like a full, like right to the edge kind of like design. I'm really looking forward to that. Next, who's next? Did you not get some? So you had a choice, but it looks like the only ones are these. If you want one of them, absolutely take one. There you go. Who is next? Why don't you just come up here? I mean, there's nobody here, you know. Why not? We got a couple more minutes. We're gonna probably scoot out of here in about a couple minutes, but you want me to sign it? Absolutely. Make sure you get everybody else.
Fits you.
Oh, thank you.
It's pink.
I don't know. Grimoire's pretty famous.
At least it's
Mac and Virus are getting pretty famous. So what was your question?
How much